Hello everybody, my name is Calde. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be playing The Council. If you haven't heard of it before, it is an episodic game that was originally released in March of 2018. There are 5 episodes in total. The last one just got released in December of 2018, so a couple months ago now. I bought this right after Christmas actually in the Steam sale, but never got around to playing it. And I thought I love watching people play episodic style games like Until Dawn and those types of things on YouTube, so I thought why not record my playthrough of this and post it and see if anybody else is interested. One thing that's kind of interesting about this game based on the trailer on Steam is the fact that your choices do supposedly matter. They'll matter later in the story. I know one of the examples that they show is like if you get injured by somebody in a fight, like that injury could affect you later. It'll definitely show on your character through the rest of the game. So I am interested to see how much the choices really matter on the overall storytelling versus just on little things like the aesthetics of your character. So without any further ado, let's get into it. I had been messing around with the volume, so I do have save games on the first 2, but I haven't actually played through. So let's see how it goes. So this is supposed to be a game that takes place in the past, in the 1700s. There we see 1792, December the 10th. This is our main character. I believe his name is Louis.
Stop! You're not getting anywhere with this, Von Borchert.
You know, I kind of get the same feeling, my dear Sarah. Listen. Nothing. Not a sound. No one's coming to save you.
That's what you think. The Golden Order knows exactly where we are.
So we're part of a secret society, I guess?
By the time your ridiculous secret society turns
Oh,
up,
there we go.
I'll be long gone. As for you, nothing will remain of your body.
If you touch a single hair on my mother's head, I'll skin you alive.
That voice
You know,
acting's a
Louis,
little awkward.
I have no intention of beating your dear mother. There are more persuasive ways of making you talk. You've stolen something
Is that
from me
witch
that I
hazel?
intend to get back.
Very good for your skin. I don't know how good it is at making people
Where
talk to
have
you when
you
they don't
hidden?
want to, but
Von Borchert, you can't sell that book on the black market anymore. This is finished.
We know you're planning on selling at one of Lord Mortimer's parties. All right? Just tell us who the buyer is and we can make a deal.
You've no idea of the trouble you've gotten yourselves into. Oh, but you will tell me where it's hidden. I can promise you that.
oh boy, this man just keeps slapping me in the face.
Stop annoying our host, Louis. Son, didn't what happened to you in Rome teach you anything?
Ooh, I love these codes.
Just a few more minutes and my concoction will be ready. With this, your bodies will dissolve in less than 4 hours. You'll see. It loosens tongues in no time.
How would dissolving our bodies make us talk, though? Wouldn't
know-
that just kill us?
I have to admit, Mother, the only thing you've ever taught me is that damn motto of yours. Always remain rational. And open. I got it. I've opened our shackles.
Draw him over here. I'll take care of him.
Why add that little extra part, though?
Budget.
I think that she would have figured out that
Well,
we
budget.
opened the shackles just based on
Listen,
our first little bit there.
let's make a deal.
Would have been a lot more sly.
I'll tell you where the book is if you let my mother go free.
Oh, what are you playing at?
Don't worry, Mother.
You want to play the hero. Pity you're not in any position to do so. For the last time. Where is Al-Azif?
Let me do this. Trust me.
Oh, so this is, I guess, how we make decisions in this game. In this instance, my mom seems like a badass, much more so than I do, so I'm gonna trust her.
Please. Be my guest, Mother.
Maybe you shouldn't have left your gun just sitting there, dummy. Oh no! Oh, well.
Well done, Louis. You reacted perfectly.
Oh, the mouth there.
How do you feel, Mother?
Couldn't be better. He's
The
alive,
character models
so
are
I can
great.
question him after we get back.
But sometimes the mouth movements
Pity
are
he's
really
just a
awkward.
middleman. Means I haven't finished with this case.
Oh, I had a feeling you'd be running off on one of your adventures again, Mother. You know what? I'm warning you. This time, I'm coming with you.
No. Even though you impress me more and more, I have to do this on my own.
Mother, you're no spring chicken anymore.
Come on, let's go home.
I don't know why, but
And
for
don't
some
forget to send
reason,
our men to tend to von Borsch.
I really dislike how he continuously calls her mother. I'm from Canada. Most people, I would say, use like mom or mum. Like, people never say mother. It just sounds so, like, awkward to me. So I know that the basis of the game is that our mom goes missing and we have to go find her. So I would wager a guess that that's what we're doing now, a month later, that she got lost on that mission that she refused to take us on. So one other interesting thing about this game, the company that actually made it, this was the first game that they actually made, so Big Bad Wolf Studio. It was their first game as a studio. So, I mean, some of the things that are a little more awkward, obviously you have to give them some credit where credit is due, because this is the first game that they've come out
Well
with.
done, Mother. You just had to pick up Von Bertrand's trail on your own, didn't you? You ditched me in Paris with no explanation, and off you go to infiltrate one of the world-renowned receptions of this Lord Mortimer? And now he writes me to say that you've gone missing on his private island? Which, by the way, looks more like a big rock than a paradise island.
I agree with that. It's kind of hideous, to be honest. Alright, so episode 1, The Mad Ones. As I said, this is episode 1 of 5. So I'm not sure how long
The least
each
he could
video
do
will
is
be,
explain to
probably
me
about
how
an
he
hour.
managed to lose you. In any case, it is time for you to stop all this, Mother. It no longer suits your age.
Well, that's ageist.
Well, I'm sure I'll find you once again, slogging through the caves beneath the island, searching for some long-lost mystical
His
object
eyes are
that
beautiful,
you
though.
just can't live without. I'm already hating this trip, and all I've done is think about it.
It's a little whiny.
It was not the host himself who invited me.
Look at this girl's
Well,
dress.
now
How does it stay up?
We find ourselves both invited by Sir Holm.
Well, how very amusing.
She's got
Perhaps
a
we have some
big
common
personality
interests,
there.
Your Eminence. Is this your first time at one of Lord Mortimer's legendary parties?
Oh no, we have been friends since long ago. But as I'm doing some business with Sir Holm, the invitation came from him.
Well, I simply can't wait for all the festivities to begin.
I'm
And you,
almost
good sir,
positive
what
that kind of
brings you
dress
here?
would not be okay in the 1790s, but... Okay, so I assume I don't want to tell him that I have a personal reason, just because I have a feeling I should play a little bit coy with these people. I don't know anything about them
Lord
yet.
Mortimer asked me to join him. We have some business to take care of.
Oh, how mysterious. You adapt quickly, my son. You get along here like a fish in water. Would you believe that we are all here hoping to solve our personal issues? You'll see.
Right. I doubt that you came here to look for your mother, Your Eminence.
Anyway, consider yourself
Eminence.
fortunate, young man, because there are many who dream of simply one day setting foot on this island, and only a very few ever make it. Indeed, I imagine this must be your first time here.
I feel like that one I'm not going to pretend, because they probably will know if they're here all the time.
That's right. Until now, I've never been invited by Lord Mortimer.
You'll see. You won't soon forget it.
Given what I've seen so far, I wish I'd been passed over.
Come, Duchess. They are waiting for us.
We're moving, Monsieur de Richet, if you would like to join us.
I'm coming, Duchess. A cardinal? A duchess? I wonder if all the guests here are this prestigious. If I'd known, I would have gone for a better suit.
Yeah, why you gotta dress like a bum? Oh boy.
Are you alright?
We're going full That's So Raven here. We're about to have a premonition. Maybe not? Nope, we definitely are. Even the zoom in on the eye, like That's So Raven.
Oh shit.
Oh boy. What?
So,
Okay, it's done.
did you put it in a safe place?
Yes. I made sure no one was following me. Don't worry, Sarah, no one's going to find it.
Are you absolutely sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
She's literally got no
Right.
hand.
Just one thing left to do.
Oh boy.
What?
She's insane.
Have you lost your mind?
There's no other way.
If you kill me, you won't find it.
That is the point, my dear. No one must ever put their hands on it again.
No. But I trusted you.
No, Sarah. Don't. No. No!
Oh boy. Okay, so I assume we want to
Sarah.
prevent that from happening. And maybe remember, so she, whatever the book is that's hidden,
Louis, are you
she
alright?
wants no one to ever
What's
find
going
it.
on?
That's probably important to know.
Here, take this.
Her boobs are just so big, I find them so
Sorry.
distracting.
Are you better?
I'm fine. Don't worry. It's getting late. Why don't you go on ahead and I'll catch up with you, okay?
Are you sure?
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm sure yes.
Fine.
I feel like the voice actress for the Duchess is a lot better than the one for Louis. And maybe I'll have to look it up before the next episode, but I don't
definitely have to
know.
find Mother quickly.
Maybe this was his first time. Maybe it's just because like some of the
Crazy.
dialogue was
Or what?
awkward.
This can't be real. The Duchess
Okay.
arrived with me.
So now
What's happening to
we
me,
can
for
move
God's sake?
around. We can look.
I absolutely need to find you, Mother.
I assume so up at the top right there it does tell us what our objective is. So right now it is to just go to the manor. I assume we're not really going to be able to look at too much stuff
Louis, during the
yet.
trip, I had something I wanted to ask you, but we didn't happen to run into each other.
Yes, Duchess?
I'm not sure if you remember, but we've met before. At that time, you were of two minds as to your choice of career. Tell me, what have you been up to since?
Alright, so now we get to choose our class. I think basically your class, it says down here actually. So your class lets you define what your basic skills are, and then you can get other skills, but it's just more expensive to get them later. So like if I'm a detective, I can still get the skills from diplomat and occultist. They'll just cost me more to level up. So the diplomat shines in society, a talented speaker avoids faux pas, and can convince those with whom he is talking without offending them. It's the field of predilection. The occultist is a master of deception, convinced of the importance of knowledge, and has acquired extensive experience in science and the arts. Using others to achieve his own ends does not bother him. I have a feeling some parts of both of those will be important for sure. And then the detective excels in investigation. He is trained to notice every detail in his surroundings as well as in people he questions. A hands-on man, he does not shy away from the direct approach. So I think I personally am going to go with detective. Just because I have a feeling that that's the way that I'm going to want to play this game, where I am actively trying to kind of solve the case. I want to play it like it's kind of a detective movie or something like that. So I'm gonna go with that for now. I also just took a
over the
point in
last few years, I've solved
subterfuge.
a number of crime cases. Like the chauffeur d'Angers, for example. Thieves that tortured their victims with burning embers.
Charming. How did you catch them?
I told the most cowardly one that the others had given him up.
Ah, and I wager your thief suddenly started to talk.
You wouldn't believe it. He told us everything. The jobs, the stashes, the names of his partners. Couldn't shut him up.
I heard about that case, but I didn't know you were the one who solved it.
I'm flattered that the news made it across the channel. And
You've got a darn good memory, Duchess.
Well, they say I have the memory of 2 people. But please, call me Emily.
Fine, Emily. Tell me, I was actually helped on that case by my mother. You wouldn't know her by any chance?
Wait, Louis. We've already met. You do remember me, don't you?
So obviously I don't remember her, but I am going to try and lie to her. I assume this is where taking some skill points in politics
How
probably
could I
would have
forget a woman
helped me.
such as yourself?
A woman such as me. What a sweet talker you are. Remind me of how we met?
Okay, so skills. Your skills give you access to unique choices and actions at the cost of effort points. The higher your skill level, the lower the cost is in effort points. So if I had diversion, which is a political skill, I could have just chatted her up. I don't know how you would say that properly. So I'll use manipulation, which was the other skill I
Emily,
just took.
it hurts me that you could doubt my sincerity. I thought we'd gotten past that stage by now.
Don't take it like that, Louis. I was only joking. I thought you were making fun of me.
I thought you were someone I could
Okay, so
trust.
that worked well.
I'm hurt to see that you're still at the stage of testing me, Duchess.
Listen, Louis, I am sorry. I really didn't want to hurt you. Forget what I just said. It was clumsy of me.
If you say so. Let's go with that, then. Didn't see me, didn't know me. Push any harder and I'll make a fool of myself.
Right, time to go to the manor.
Opportunities. Your skills allow you to discover hidden details, such as select the object that is most suggestive of the situation in order to discover them. Opportunities do not consume effort points. To access the skill required for the situation, you just need to have unlocked it. Okay. Apparently that was the right one.
She answers with another. Is she playing with me?
Okay, so I guess the point of the opportunity is if you have the right skill, you'll actually get to take advantage of the opportunity, which allows you to, in this case, it allowed me to click on her and see something about her personality. So I'm guessing that we're going to see what she's immune to, or potentially what one of her vulnerabilities is. So each person you meet on the island has their own personality, which makes them vulnerable to certain skills and immune to others. Exploiting their personality is crucial to achieve your personal goals. Skills used against immunities will not succeed and leave you exhausted. Meanwhile, exploited vulnerabilities will give you 1 effort point back.
Emily, please excuse my
Okay,
insisting,
so
but
we did
you
discover
still
an
haven't
immunity
answered about my mother.
to logic.
Do you know her?
You'll see, Louis. Everybody here knows Sarah de Richet.
So we can't just try and
I
logic
don't
our
know
way
where
through
we're
with
going
her.
like this, Emily, but you're connected to my mother one way or another. And if I can believe my vision, you don't have much of a place in her heart.
I don't know if I agree with that. It seems more like the mom might have been doing something really intense, so she was trying to cover it up. Whether she likes her or not, I don't think that you could tell from that one little flash forward or flash back. I assume flash forward. Talents. You obtain talents when carrying out certain actions. Remember to review their unlock conditions and effects, as they offer very interesting improvements. Okay, let's maybe go to the menu really quick and see that then. Okay, so this is my character. I had already looked at this quickly before starting the game, just so that I wasn't spending like 20 minutes staring at the screen reading all of the different skills. So it is pretty interesting. There are definitely a lot of skills to get. I have a feeling that I'm going to need at least a baseline in all of the occultism ones, just because it seems like that's a big focus of the story that's going on in the background of this game. We're part of a secret society who believe in the occult. That guy clearly believed in the occult, trying to mix up a witch potion, including Hazel. I think that a bit of baseline politics will probably be important too, but I think that we'll definitely be focusing pretty heavily on the detective field. For talents, these are also really interesting because it allows you to basically just by doing different things, like purchasing different skills or reading manuscripts, you can unlock new skill points or increase your skill points. So, like policing mastery has the fake elements displayed during an opportunity, which we haven't had an opportunity yet, but I would need 2 questioning, 3 vigilance, and 2 psychology if I want to do that, and so on. So these will be very interesting. I think it's something where I'm going to have to probably come back and consult this before I'm making decisions about which skills I want to take in the future. But for now, I guess we will continue to go up towards the manor. There's something I can look at over here.
Must be an incredible view from up there. Impossible to set foot on the island without being seen from 300 meters away.
Okay. I can still look at this. I don't know why it moved me away. Royal Jelly. It restores 2 effort points, and I cannot carry more than 5. I think there also was one other thing back, yeah, right here. Why won't it let me? Ugh. Some of the movement is a little bit awkward, I will say that. I'm not sure if this was made using like somebody actually wearing like a motion capture suit, so that's why it's a little awkward, or not, but it does feel a little stutter-steppy when you want to turn.
Louis Moras de Richer.
Monsieur de Richer.
Oh, that
Delighted
mask.
to welcome you among us.
He looks like Hannibal.
You must be Sarah de Richer's son. I must tell you we are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible.
So I assume that this guy, if he's a servant, doesn't know anything about my mom. I'm going to go with where's Lord
I have an
Mortimer?
appointment with Lord Mortimer. Would you be so kind as to lead me to him?
Unfortunately, sir, I cannot. I don't know exactly where my master is. But rest assured, sir, everyone is waiting for you at the manor. Sir Holm insists on welcoming you in person. Since your mother went missing, everyone has been concerned about finding her.
Who is Sir Holm?
A close friend of Lord Mortimer's. Please, rest assured, sir, it won't take us long to find your revered mother. Indeed, we are searching the quays again because lights were seen at the wharf just last night.
Where we are now?
Indeed, sir. According to our information, lights were seen in the middle of the night, sir. After verification, none of the guests seem to have left the manor last night. We think that perhaps Sir's mother was here.
I think that's a safe assumption. So I can either ask if there were any witnesses, or I can do some questioning, which is because of my detective skills, so I'll go with that.
Did you find anything then?
We discovered a certain amount of damage.
Okay, so
sir,
he's vulnerable
on the
to that,
wooden
which is
part of the
awesome to
wharf.
know.
What type of damage?
Broken barrels, mainly. We'll do whatever is necessary to have them rapidly repaired. But quite frankly, I can't imagine what Sir's mother would have been doing with them.
What could Mother have been doing with barrels?
Nevertheless, our search of the wharf hasn't been entirely unsuccessful, though.
What do you mean?
We seem to have found an object that would appear to belong to Sir's mother. A handkerchief. The handkerchief is embroidered with the initials SDR. We came to the conclusion that they are the initials of Sir's
Wait,
mother.
why are you putting it away?
Sarah de Richer.
Give it to me,
I
it's
have
my
orders
mom.
to give it to Lord Mortimer as soon as I see him.
No.
I know, man. She's not the kind to go for a midnight stroll on the wharf for nothing. I've got to find out what the hell she was doing here.
Where
He's
exactly
very
did you find the
intense
handkerchief?
sometimes.
On the landing dock, sir. The one you arrived by.
So I can either manipulate him into try and get him to give it to me. If I had conviction, I could have just been like, yo, give it back to me. Or I can use logic, which again is from my detective
the
skills,
handkerchief.
so I'll try that.
I'll personally show it to Lord Mortimer.
Well,
I've
That's
traveled
good, so
hard
he's
for several
vulnerable to that
days in
too.
order to get here.
yes, but...
Invited by your master.
No, of course, but...
Because my mother went missing right under your nose.
Sir, please.
And having only just arrived, you refused to give me her personal belongings?
Of course not, sir. It was never my intention to contradict, sir. Here you are.
Yeah,
must
I
return
agree
now.
with that.
It is still much to prepare in order to welcome all the guests.
If it was my mother, I'd be wanting her handkerchief back too, because that's bullshit.
It is indeed your handkerchief, Mother. You must have come here for a specific reason. I need to know what it is. Let's think. What could she have been doing out here on this wharf?
Alright, let's run around and look at some
Looks
stuff.
like the barrel's been broken for quite some time. This chest might belong to Duchess Hillsborough.
Ooh, look. Oh yeah, we got us a crowbar.
Looks like a bar from an old gate. This miserable old bar has been broken fairly recently. The edges are still clean, and the tip is blackened. Without analysis to the contrary, I put my money on cannon powder.
Well, take
This
it
might
with us.
just come in handy.
I don't know why we would leave it. I assume we'll want to take like as much
A
stuff
sack of
as we
seeds.
can.
It's unopened. No one seems to
We
have
go
used
in
it.
this boat? No. Okay. What else do we got around here? It's a little bit hard, I find, to see
Some
these little
rope.
blue things.
Apparently no one's touched it for a good long time.
Lantern.
A lantern. Nothing special.
Anything over here? Okay. Let's look at these letters. I
Let's
wonder
see
if this
what's
is
hidden
where they
inside.
found that handkerchief. Oh, look. So using our logic, we can use 3 points to find a clue. So let's do that.
One of the letters is stamped with the seal of the order. And I recognize your handwriting anywhere, Mother. But who is this Samuel Ritter d'Auchois? Who are you writing to? I don't recognize the name. Let's see what's inside this letter. So,
Dear Samuel, my stay on Lord Mortimer's island is going wonderfully well. As I find myself in such charming company, I plan to stay a few more weeks. Would you be so kind as to send me a gift that I'd like to give to our old friend Manuel Godoy? I would be most grateful. I have been told that he's going to join us here soon. I would like to mark the occasion.
That
Thank
sounded
you in
like a
advance.
code if I ever
Yours
heard one.
devotedly,
Just
Sarah
the way
Faustine
that
de Richet.
The
what is your game here, Mother?
voiceover was
secrets.
said.
Always more secrets.
Yeah.
You never talked to anyone using language like this.
Oh,
Something's going
there's
on
a
here.
spelling mistake down there. Language was
Samuel
spelled
Ritter?
wrong.
And for crying out loud, who's this Manuel Godoy that you keep bringing up? Think. Godoy, Godoy. Manuel Godoy. Why does the name sound so familiar?
That's too bad. Okay, so if I had politics, I'd be able to remember what the name is, but I
I'm
don't
guessing
have
this
it,
man
so I
has some
can't.
importance. Spanish, I'd say. But just can't put a face to him. Well, hope we meet to talk about it soon, Mother. I don't know what you've gotten yourself into this time, but I'll bet you've got a lot to tell me.
I wonder if it's possible to use your points in such a way, like kind of optimize the way that you're using them, such that you can actually answer every single thing. Like, do every possible skill test, like always pass them. Would be interesting to see if that is possible. I'm not sure if it is. What's this?
A wooden floorboard.
Alright, so we can question where it came from.
Judging by the
Vigilance
splinters
level
of
1.
the wood, this floorboard has been ripped up. Yet it was in decent condition. I wonder why someone ripped it up. What's the point of doing this? Probably comes from this part of the wharf. The wood is slightly eaten away, of course, but it still would have been fine if it weren't smashed.
Alright. We got a gate. If we can open it, I'm not sure if we'll be able to.
I'll never get it open barehanded.
Pick the lock. So we would have needed subterfuge for that. Let's try the iron bar, I guess, since we have it.
Clearly, I'm not much for manual labor. Let's see if I can get it open
Okay,
another
so
way.
I'm too weak. Oh, force it open with the bar would be with agility level 1. I mean, maybe let's just leave that for a minute, because I don't want to use up all of my points either. Do we have anything else? Oh, here's something else. Oh, it looks like we know why that thing got
Hey.
replaced.
There's something not right about this floorboard. It's different from the rest.
Rip it up, or I can just use the bar. Might as well use the bar to save myself the effort points.
That does it.
Oh,
Let's
there
see what's
goes
hidden
my bar.
There's a book and also a bag.
Well, let's
The
take the book.
Mysterium Cosmographicum. I know that book well. Mother used to read passages from it to me all the time. And judging from what I can see, it's the same one as hers. For crying out loud, what's happened to you, Mother?
Okay, well, at least we took the book with us. So manuscripts allow you to educate yourself during the adventure. At the start of each quest, you can choose what to read and gain permanent skill points. Oh, that's interesting.
Let's look inside the bag. A little
Can
food.
we, let's just see, can we read them now, or is that not how it works? No, it looks like, so we do have to read them at the beginning. So if we were reading this, I assume that's why we already have 1 point in psychology, like just baseline, because we had this book with us to begin with. And then that book we just got from our mom's bag, we would be able to read at the beginning of the next quest to get a point in science. Okay. And then in our journal, we didn't read any of this before, but we do have everybody's, so I guess this is where it will have their immunities and their vulnerabilities. No one knows why they wear masks. That's weird. I wonder if it's actually Lord Mortimer. That would be a
toiletries,
trip.
A small key and some kind
Real
of
twist.
black powder.
Alright, well, let's look at the
Iron
key.
completely rusted.
Take it for sure.
You never know.
I bet that
It might be
opens that
useful.
gate.
Hope
Good thing
Mother
I
wasn't
didn't
counting on
waste
it.
time on it.
Some
Examine
fruit,
it.
a piece of bacon, and some bread. The fruit's still firm. The bread's a bit stale. From the smell, this food's been here roughly 2 days. And if it's rationed, there's enough left to last 2 more days.
Okay, so she's probably
Shit,
planning on
those
coming
are
back to
definitely
this.
my mother's things. I recognize her hairpins. This bag smells of her perfume. A piece of soap, some oils, and her powder puff. What does all this mean?
It means she's coming back for this.
The bottom of the bag is covered in black powder.
I feel like we shouldn't
Right,
take
that's
it.
enough. I think I better leave her bag here. If she hid all this, it's because she thought she might need it later.
Yeah, that's my
Crying out
thought.
loud. Why did you hide supplies in the middle of nowhere, Mother?
Like, what
I
if
don't
she
know what's
was
going
planning to
on.
come back to
You
it?
obviously feel like you're in danger.
I don't want to kill her by accident, so. Especially this early in the game.
There we are.
Okay, so we got in here. What do we got? What do we got? There's some stuff over here. So, more royal
It's
jelly?
like a pistol case, but it's empty. I don't know if this has anything to do with you, Mother, but if it does, at least now you're armed. Just like in my vision. And none of it's telling me anything useful.
Yeah, why do you want her armed? She shot someone. Isn't that the opposite of what we want? So, what is this?
This wharf is used as storage for a lot of barrels.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
let's examine it.
What have we here? It's cannon powder.
Oh, so we can't examine the powder because we don't have the right skill. I believe that the royal jelly doesn't... Yeah, it just gives us effort points. So yeah, so none of those would have
Unusable
helped
now.
us anyways.
I don't know what the person who left this barrel like this had in mind, but it's a waste.
She just needed to
So,
scoop a little bit out.
Let's go through this. My mother's been hiding.
Oh. Amber fragment. When I pick up 4, I get an increased maximum effort point. Well, that's unfortunate because I cut off his dialogue. I like when, if you cut off their dialogue by accident, you get the opportunity to listen to it again. But that is not so in this case, which is fine. But basically what he was going to say, it looks like my mom or like what I think he was going to say. My mom came here, left her handkerchief down at the end, probably, so I or someone else would know she was here, sent a letter to somebody in code, got a bunch of cannon powder scooped out using that bar to rip open the barrel, and she's hidden a bunch of food so that she can come back and eat it.
Latin inscription. En nessis, mi fili quantilia produncia mundus ergatur.
I wonder if knowing other languages is going to be important. Like I said, it would be interesting to know if it's possible to do like every different interaction. I mean, obviously if you played through it multiple times, you would know which ones are important and which aren't.
At the top of a rocky outcrop.
Because there are for sure some that you could just skip, I'm sure. Big house, fancy doors. I bet they weigh a ton though, they'd be hard to open. If they actually open the full way. Oh, looks like they do. Don't worry, they open with the power of magic. That is one creepy ass statue. Not a fan of that at all. I would not have that in my house, that's for sure.
Impressive.
Impressive's one word for it.
I was looking for you.
What can I do for you, Your Eminence?
I wanted to ask you. You are the son of Sara de Riche, aren't you? You see,
I love his
your mother
accent.
and I were supposed to meet here on this very spot.
Wait, does he have a
I
hand
was supposed
tattoo?
to hand her a very important envelope. But I haven't seen her.
If only Mother had told me why she was coming here. Anyway, I ought to take the envelope. It might have something to do with her disappearance.
Listen, if it will help, you can always give it to me.
Alright, so we're doing a confrontation. During a confrontation, you have to go through several steps while being as persuasive as possible. Confrontations have consequences on the rest of the story, so don't hesitate to use your skills. Each confrontation displays an interface showing you how much the person you're talking to is convinced. So this kind of feels like the, like dis mechanic in Before the Storm.
Son, I'll bear that
With,
in
like
mind.
the Life is
I'd
Strange
rather deal
prequel.
with her directly. Don't take it personally. Would you happen to know if your mother has arrived yet?
Okay, so obviously, if I want to persuade him, I don't want him to think, oh shit, she's missing. So I'll say, yep, she's been here for several
Certainly,
weeks.
Your Eminence. Mother got here some time ago. I was hoping to find her when I arrived, but given the hour, she must be asleep by now.
Right. I shall see her tomorrow then.
By the way, Your Eminence, I wasn't aware you knew my mother.
Ah, if you only knew, my son. I hold your mother in the highest regard. She has rendered great service to the church, and her help is invaluable. I hope that you will follow in her footsteps.
If only she had told me where she was headed.
Nonetheless, our exchanges have always been discreet, and I should like them to remain as such. If your mother wishes to speak to you about us one day, I will not mind if she does so.
That is very commendable. But since we work together on a daily basis, it's surely just an oversight.
Most certainly. You said you work together. What do you do exactly?
Alright, so I can either just out and say we're members of the Golden Order, which is ridiculous, and I'm not going to say that. I would be able to say that we're art collectors, our business is confidential. I assume that would be the best one, but because I can't do that, I'm going to go with it's a professional secret.
If you know my mother, you will understand that I cannot answer you, Your Eminence. I'm sorry, but...
Do not worry, my son. I perfectly understand, and I expected nothing less from you. Discretion and secrecy are both pillars of the organizations for which we work.
Is he trying to say the church
Worthy
is
son of Sarah.
the pillar
All the
of
same,
secrecy
it bothers
and
me to see you in a
discretion?
quandary, Your Eminence. Is there any other solution? Look,
If it's of any help, you can always leave your envelope with me, and I'll give it to her as soon as I see her.
I hesitate. Up till now, we have always dealt with her in person, and that has always been successful. Do you think I should give it to you?
Do I think he should? Depends on what it contains. Pretend I don't want it. Yes, I'll give it to her if I find her. I'm gonna say it depends what it contains, I think.
Only you know that, Your Eminence. If you're asking me if you can trust me, or if I can keep a secret, I
so
would
he's
answer
good
yes.
with questioning.
Absolutely.
That's good to
I
know.
understand.
In truth, it all depends on the nature of the contents of your letter.
It is a list of names.
This list must be of extreme importance.
Ah, if only you knew. It's a list of people that your mother must help. Listen to me, my child. If I give you the letter, can you promise me before God that no one other than your mother will read it?
Okay, so last step of a confrontation. I must convince the person I'm talking to by giving a positive answer. If I give a bad answer, the step will repeat itself until you give a right one or you have no blunders left. Since this is the first one, they've obviously taken it easy on me. I could basically fail all 3 of the first steps and still pass. But I assume that that will get a lot more challenging later. So I need to say the right thing here. So, can I swear on God? I can either divert him, say I don't believe in God, not a good thing. No thank you. I'll say okay, no
I
worries.
swear by the Almighty God to honor the promise that no one but my mother shall cast her gaze upon your letter.
Because I said that,
Listen, let's stop there. I'm going to tell you a secret.
I assume I cannot read the letter,
Your
even
mother
if I
and
want to.
are organizing the escape of a large number of French priests who face a massacre organized by the accursed Republican tribunals. The church is literally being bled like a beast. Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine. She has made the services of your order available to us by organizing the priests' safe passage across the borders.
Love his voice
Even
so
if she
much.
does not share all our
The voice
convictions,
acting's really good
she
from him.
always provided assistance. Young man, you can be proud to be her son. Be it only for her sake. Always respect your name. Here, the letter I spoke of. It includes a list of about 15 names ready for departure. Be quick. Remember to tell Sarah when you see her that time is short.
Well played. I'll decide later when I'm alone whether to look at what it contains.
No, yeah, I honestly think that there's no reason to look at what it contains. I believe what he just told us, that it probably is just a list of names of people who need to be saved. And I have a strong suspicion, having played a lot of video games in my life, that he's going to ask us to see it later to make sure that we didn't betray him. Okay, so hidden elements. Many clues and items are hidden. Some of them will have an impact on your adventure, so do not hesitate to look for them. Now, I did see complaints from people online that, like, right now my objective is go to the group near the chimney. I am certain that if I get too close to them, it will just go on to the next part. So you have to be really careful and, like, not move too far forward. What the fuck? That painting.
Saturn devouring his son. Good God, how awful.
I agree with you, Louis.
Everything in this painting is disturbing. It's the first time I've seen brushstrokes like this.
Yeah, it's horrific. But yeah, so you have to be really careful. You can't just be wandering around like wherever you want, because if you get too close to the people, you will start the
Crucifixion of Saint
next
Peter.
chapter.
He was crucified
Or at
upside
least the
down,
next
out of
interaction.
humility. Surprising for an entrance hall.
So I can look at all these paintings. I don't know how important they are. I assume that they might be important later. Can I go? No. I assume I'm
I've
not going to
just
be able to go
arrived.
anywhere else.
It might be bad manners to go upstairs without being invited.
What
Lord
is this?
Mortimer, Lord Mortimer certainly
Oh,
has a taste for
I
staging
clicked it
rooms.
twice by accident. What? This isn't a nice
Blind
room.
Oedipus.
It's crazy.
Blinded himself. What a tragic destiny.
That is a sad story. We had to read it in school, like probably when I was in high school. And very miserable. If you haven't read it, don't. Alright, so we have our second consumable item here, Devil's Thorn, which grants me the Exalted State. Temporarily see the immunities and vulnerabilities affecting a dialogue choice in a conversation. I cannot carry more than 5. Let's look at what this painting is.
Fall of the Damned by Rubens.
That
The man who
one's
cannot
at least a
achieve the
little more
salvation of
interesting.
God the Father is offered to fall into the depths of the abyss.
Okay, I can't go upstairs, I already know that. Nothing to see over there. What do we have here?
Lives of the Noble Greeks and Romans by Plutarch, a biography of the great men.
So I can't just flip through it, I'll grab it, that's fine. Take her with me. Oh, there's stuff over there. But I can't get over there. So this is where I'm pretty sure I'm not actually going to be able to go over there without triggering the next cutscene.
I thought my
there we go.
chimney was big, but this one is beyond belief.
Is that George
It's the
Washington?
least one can say.
Look
I've
at that
been
hair.
longing for a warm fire for ages.
Oh, I
Since I
teleported.
set foot on the island, I haven't ventured more than 2 yards away from it.
Have you also just arrived?
Oh, late morning, I'd say.
Louis, come join us. Monsieur, may I introduce you to Monseigneur His Eminence, Cardinal Piaggi. He joins us straight from Rome.
Oh, just call me Your Eminence. It's simpler.
George Washington.
Why wouldn't I just call you
President
Piaggi?
of the United States of America.
Called it.
Delighted at last to make your acquaintance, Mr. President.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. President. Louis Moras de Richet. It is an honor to meet you.
Young man, let's keep it simple, please. Let us forget our fancy titles. Nice to meet you, Louis.
I should imagine you never thought you'd be in such company.
I must admit that I didn't. It's the first time that I've ever met so many illustrious personalities.
And you haven't seen anything yet. Generally, when Lord Mortimer organizes one of his receptions, there are over a dozen people here.
I
They
feel
can't
like
all
the
be
mouths
here.
moving
And you'll see, most of the time there's only the upper crust.
are less awkward
And
from
I
a
noticed
distance.
you were already getting to know His Eminence at the entrance. It's the perfect place to build up a network. What were you talking about, if you forgive my indiscretion?
So I can't say either of those. So I'm going to say about my mother, because I assume he doesn't want anyone to know about
At
the
the
letter
risk of
that's supposed to
disappointing
be
you,
a secret.
We weren't conspiring in our corner, sir. His Eminence was simply telling me that he knew my mother and how much he held her in high esteem.
It so happens that Monsieur de Richet's mother is to join us.
Oh, pity. No scrumptious gossip or juicy tidbits, unmentionable secrets, or even money matters. But you'll see, it will come. Despite all the goodwill in the world, you can't stop people scheming left and right around here.
Speak for yourself, sir.
Oh, that fake ass
Well,
laugh.
my friends, do any of you know the reason why we're here this time?
Not in the slightest. As for me, I've been invited by Sir Horn, a close friend of Lord Mortimer, but I do not know the reason why.
You see, Louis, every time Lord Mortimer organizes a reception, he always finds a moment to set up a chat with all the guests,
During which time we remake the world.
accompanied by gallons of absinthe and cussing. I'll leave you to imagine the result.
So,
The
if I
original
understand
Old Boys
rightly,
Club.
Monsieur de Richet, you've come out here to join your mother. For what reason, exactly?
I feel like people are gonna know she's gone missing, so it's probably better for me to just
Lord Mortimer asked me to
say
drop
it?
everything and come find my mother, who seems to have disappeared during her stay here. I took the first boat, and here I am.
I'm so sorry.
Don't be, sir. It's not your fault.
Maybe it is his fault. We don't know that yet.
Seriously, though, I know your mother well. Stay behind with me afterwards, and we'll take a moment to speak about her.
Oh, opportunity. Weird thing.
Good lord. Washington is wearing the emblem of the Grand Master of the Golden Order. It's
What?
the highest distinction of the order in the United States.
Why
It
would
puts him on par with my mother.
why would he just have that
He must
on in
really know
public
his
though?
stuff when it comes to the occult.
Good evening, my friends.
Holy shit. That's the man for my vision.
An urgent
Oh,
case
he's so
has delayed
gross.
our host, Lord Mortimer. He can't be present this evening, and he sends his deepest apology.
Like, why does his face look
He's
so
asking him,
patchy?
He hasn't even turned up? Great start.
I bet he's dead or something. Yeah, who is
Do
that?
you know that man?
Sir Gregory Holm, an English aristocrat, very influential. He's also close to Lord Mortimer, so don't be surprised if he acts like he's at home.
Good to know.
And now, my dear guests, a light meal is served in the small salon. For those who would like to, you're invited to follow me into the next room.
My dear fellow, you must have read my thoughts. I shall follow.
We'll have to be careful not to make too much noise. One of Lord Mortimer's guests is relaxing.
Oh, we shall be quiet.
Don't take it the wrong way, Sir Holm, but I've already eaten. Thus, I shall be happy to remain by the fire.
Okay, so I want to stay here
If you
and
don't
talk to
mind,
him.
Gregory, I should like to keep Mr. Washington company.
Please feel at home. And you, sir?
If I stay with Washington, we'll be able to speak about my mother. But on the other hand, I'd like to learn more about this home. I saw him in my vision.
I also want to learn more about home, but I feel like just talking to him is not going to get me any information, and I know talking to Washington
See
is
what
going
Washington
to give me
has to say.
something.
Sir, if you don't mind, I shall stay here.
Do exactly as you please, young man.
Louis, thank you for staying. Just like you, when I arrived this morning, I found out that Sarah had gone missing. I know your mother well. Don't worry. Emily is from the English branch of the Golden Order.
Oh,
And
interesting.
President Washington is in fact the leader of the Order in the United States.
I didn't know.
Sorry to have made you wait, but I didn't want to speak in front of the others.
You did well. Secrecy and discretion are the pillars of our organization.
If I
They
can
keep
help
repeating
in
that,
any
so I
way
don't know
at
if
all,
that's important.
Please don't hesitate to ask, my lad.
I assume just
And
so
if
I
you have
remember
any other questions, now's the time.
not to constantly be blabbing about the Golden Order to everyone unless it's people that I know are part of it. Alright, so this is irrelevant, so tell me more about
Mother
Mortimer.
has always had a fascination for Lord Mortimer, but has never wanted to tell me why.
Lord Mortimer is a remarkable man. He's wealthy and is advisor to the very highly placed. Your mother is the head of the Order in France. It doesn't surprise me that he asked her to come.
Lord Mortimer greatly contributed to financing my electoral campaign, for example. But I want this to be clear, without ever seeking to gain an advantage.
And that is to his credit.
Yes.
Ooh,
you
that
can
was
trust him.
awkward.
He will do everything in his power to help you find Sarah.
Mr. Washington, you seem to be very familiar with my mother.
I feel like when did he see her for the last time is okay. I think I'd rather know how they
Where
know
did you
each
first
other.
meet her?
I met Sarah during the War of Independence on American soil. She was introduced to me by a mutual acquaintance, and I must say that her sound advice prevented me from making some terrible mistakes. She may not be a soldier, but believe me, she deserves a statue as much as Lafayette does.
Well, I didn't
That's
see that one
interesting.
coming. There's no doubt Mother has many secrets that are still hidden.
Right.
So our mom is a
Would it be
huge
too much
badass.
if I asked you
so...
a few more questions?
Not at all. Go ahead. But I can't promise I'll remember everything.
May I ask, when you saw each other, what did you talk about?
So can't ask about this. I assume that they would have talked about the Order in some way. I guess let's do this. Maybe it'll be like about the occult, since we have insinuated that since he's part of the Order,
My
he's
mother has
interested in
always
the
been
occult.
fascinated by strange powers. Did she talk to you about anything like that?
Yes. Her facility for discerning truths from rumor served me well. Such as preventing massacres, like the one at Salem, from happening again. Or convincing people that horsemen cannot ride around without heads. What was it that she used to say now?
Keep an open and logical mind?
Yes, that's it.
Thank you, sir.
Like, that's such a weird
I was
saying.
hoping to speak with Lord Mortimer. At least now I have some information, thanks to you.
I repeat, Lord Mortimer is a man of his word. You won't be disappointed. And I am persuaded that your mother's research is his main concern.
Mother
let's try
still
this.
is at the head of the Golden Order. I find it difficult to believe that she came to this island without notifying the other members.
As for myself, I did not know. I am here at the request of Sir Holm, a situation regarding the Crown of England to resolve, and to see what Lord Mortimer has to propose to us.
As for me, Lord Mortimer asked me here to speak about the future of America. I did not know that your mother would even be among us. In any case, no one has yet mentioned associating the Order.
We haven't found many clues yet.
Oh, that was awkward. Let's show them the book that we found, just because,
But
I mean,
I did find a book that belongs to my mother.
they are supposed to be basically my partners in
Where
crime.
did you find it?
That's what worries me. I found it hidden on the wharf.
Do you think she was preparing to discreetly leave?
I don't know.
An extremely likely proposition.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Ooh, some
Don't
of the
worry.
interactions in this scene are
I'm
so
sure nothing
awkward.
bad has happened to her.
Yes, I hope not.
Careful, they're coming back.
So we don't trust them? Good to know. Who dat? Oh boy, why are his eyes suddenly
Well, I am
so
impressed
wide?
with all this splendor.
But don't spend too much time with Mr. Washington, my dear, or you'll lose your pretty accent.
Oh, the
You seem
way
to
the
be
character
intrigued
looks
by
when
that
she
statue.
laughs.
Absolutely. It is remarkable.
Lord Mortimer is fond of atypical works of art. I won't disguise the fact that I find it all a little megalomaniacal. But I must say, he does have some outstanding
There's
pieces.
that hideous one again.
Sir Holm, who was that young lady?
Oh,
with
so I
you?
missed an opportunity
Elizabeth
there.
Adams, Mr. President. She would have liked to have stayed with us, but the poor thing is exhausted.
Elizabeth Adams?
Uh,
Just
Got that
mentioning
one.
Elizabeth totally changed Washington's attitude. Looks like he just saw a ghost.
Miss Adams is here to rest. You have perhaps already come across her in the corridors. She arrived a few days ago.
I perceived her, but we weren't introduced.
I
Rest
perceived
assured,
her.
she is not
Why
here
not
for the
just say
same
you
reasons
saw
as
her? That's
yourselves.
weird.
Consequently, I'm counting on your indulgence.
Some of the writing choices are a little bit awkward. Oh, okay. Questioning skill.
Washington looks surprised, but Holm doesn't seem to see it. I wonder if he's being polite or if he really doesn't see his discomfort.
On that note, it's very late. You must be exhausted. The servant will accompany you to your rooms.
I assume I'm probably coming up on the end of the episode now. Like, it'll probably end once we go to sleep. Might still have to try and, like, look around our room or something first.
Ladies, gentlemen, I bid you all good night. Mr. President, Your Eminence, Duchess, you have the same rooms as usual. You, Monsieur de Richet, will find your room at the end of the corridor.
Okay. Go find our
Well, my
bedroom.
friends, I am bone tired. I am off to my bed. See you in the morning.
Good night, sir. I shall do likewise.
Louis, I shall see you in the morning. Sleep well.
Good night. See you tomorrow. Oh man, it's been quite a day. Right. Where is my room?
Okay, so I assume that it is that way, but I want to look around, see if there's anything around here. One thing that I find a little bit awkward about this game also is they keep referencing the fact that I believe, supposed to be French, and so is my mom. And everybody else has, like, these really spot-on accents. Like, the, Piaggi, so the cardinal from Rome, has, like, a really good accent. George Washington's is pretty good. The Duchess is really good British accent. So, like, it seems weird that they would pick somebody with, like, such a bland, like, North American English
A
voice.
few leaves out of an old encyclopedia.
Oh, that's good. Okay, Golden Elixir cures all of your negative alterations. You cannot carry more than 5. That's good. I believe we get negative alterations by making bad choices, so like trying to talk to people and getting hit, like accidentally hitting one of their immunities.
Decorum guide.
Oh, that's good. Another book for us to potentially read. I assume a decorum guide is probably going to give us like some kind of like politics or etiquette or something. Probably etiquette. Devil's Thorn, lots of items around. Also, I've picked up a couple coins. I don't know if you've noticed. I should have probably mentioned. I do know that just like from looking in the menus, the coins seem to be the collectible in this game. So, trying to collect all the coins. I do believe it gives you some experience at the end of the episode that you can use towards your...
Johan van Vulna.
Sorry, that you can use towards like leveling up your skills, which is nice. And then also obviously if you're a completionist, you would want all of the coins. So I would like to find them all, of course. This is probably going to be a pretty boring little segment, just me running around the corridors. Hopefully I'm not missing anything. Was there not something there? Another coin. It's a little bit awkward to try and pick stuff up, honestly. Like, just the way that you have to run. So you hold the back right trigger to run. But, like, when you let go of it, you don't slow down right away. And you also don't start running right away. Like, there's a little bit of a delay in your input.
President George Washington.
So that's the president's room. I don't know, like, is my map going to tell me whose rooms are whose? No, that's too bad. Maybe once I've actually gone into people's rooms, it'll start telling me, like I'll be able to mouse over. Like, obviously right now they're all in their rooms, so it would be a very bad idea to try and go in
a
them
Russian
now.
ruble. I wonder what it'd be worth today.
It's interesting that there's coins from like everywhere in the world just littered around in this hallway. So obviously they must have guests from a lot of different places. Okay, more jelly, which I think brings us up to 5, which is the max amount we can have at one time. I keep having to look like straight down at the floor to be able to pick anything up. What's this?
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi.
Okay, the Cardinal. And that's me. So we should have gone almost all the way around. Let me just see, is there anything that I can pick up right here? Whose room is this?
Duke Manuel Godoy.
Oh, there we go, there's Godoy. Which was the person referenced in that letter that we found right at the beginning of the pier. And then this is Duchess's
Emily
room.
Hillsborough.
Okay. Manuel Godoy, that's interesting. So I assume we'll want to talk to him as soon as like we get the opportunity to. Let's go into our room. Hopefully I found all the items there. I'll probably notice something when I'm editing the video together. Something that I
Right.
missed, but...
So what shall I do with this letter? It might be about my mother's disappearance.
No, he told you
But if I
exactly what it
open
was.
I'll be betraying Piaggi's trust. What should I do?
Yeah, don't read it. Oh, if we had have had enough subterfuge, which is like basically your little sneaky snake, like unlocking and stealthing around skill, we could have just opened it without breaking the seal. Which, I mean, it wouldn't be that hard, I don't think. Just slide something under it and then put a bit more wax. But we are going to leave the letter closed.
Can't wait to open it, but I gave my word to Piaggi, so...
Because, like I
Too
said,
bad. I'll wait until I hand it to Mother.
I have a sneaking suspicion
Nice room. Mortimer sure doesn't do things halfway.
that he is going to ask us about it. What's in here? Carmelite water. Gives you the focus state. Your next skill will cost no effort. You can't carry more than 5. So that's good. I guess we would pop that if we found we were coming up against a very difficult skill check.
Saint Jerome and the Angel. Yet again, art with political undertones with
Ew.
an image of a saint hearing voices. Saturn devouring his son. Again? I saw the same theme in the hall.
Ew.
I wouldn't like to be his son.
Judith beheading
So-
Holofernes.
Ew,
Ironic
like-
in a way, when you know that the artist represented herself as Judith beheading her mentor, who had raped her.
Saint Francis
Cute.
of Assisi in ecstasy.
before superior voices. It always amuses me to see how art gets used for propaganda purposes. The conversion of St. Paul, like Caravaggio. It's incredible. It doesn't look like a copy, but I was sure the original was in Rome.
So many of those paintings are just disgusting. Oh, is that a coin I see? Do I spy with my little eye? I did. Okay, is there anything else we can interact with before we go to sleep? No, no, no. What's this?
Inferno by Dante. Abandon hope, all ye who enter here.
Lovely lectures Mortimer's giving to his guests. Very jolly.
Oh. Oh. I can't unlock that because I don't have enough subterfuge. That's my bed. Is it gonna make me sleep as soon as I walk in here? Or can I look around? Nope, alright. I see what people meant about that being a little bit annoying. You do not have to get very close, and it will just kind of cut you off. I almost wish that there was something that warned you, or there was a way to toggle something that warned you, so that you knew if you were walking into a new area. Oh, there we go. So that is the end of Episode 1, Quest 1. Okay, so with this, I didn't fail anything, so that's great. I assume it would have been pretty hard to fail on this one. There weren't a lot of choices that I had to make really quickly, and there weren't any that were, I guess, that I had to think very hard about, although I'm sure that will probably change later. So my successes, I went up to the manor, I pieced together my mother's movements on the docks, convinced Piaggi to trust me with his letter, met Mr. Washington, remained in the Grand Hall to speak with him, found a strange book on the quay, and asked questions about my mother. So the alternate paths I could have taken, I could have joined Sir Holm in the small salon, and I could have made an unexpected encounter, which that was when I had the opportunity to use, I think it was erudition? I'm not sure how you say it, to do the opportunity with Sir Holm while him and George Washington were having a conversation. Alright, so here's all my points. I think I did pretty well. Found a lot of items, exploited some vulnerabilities, met new characters. Yeah, I think that that's pretty good. So now I get to put in my points. So where would I like to put them? So etiquette, I got one skill. I think that's just because I picked up a book that had an etiquette skill in it. So I could increase my psychology. I could get some occultism. I could get subterfuge so that I can pick locks. I think wouldn't be the worst idea. It seems like linguistics is going to be important. Maybe I should just see quickly what books I have. So I will be able to get an etiquette skill, so I'm not going to bother. The conviction could be useful. So that's that encyclopedia page I picked up. If I can find the other 2 pages of it somewhere, I will get a science, a linguistics, and an erudition skill point. I don't even know what erudition is. Where is that? Where is it? Okay, so that was that one that we were looking at before that I was saying might be useful. So, a sound cultural background in arts, geography, and history. But I mean, I'm only going to be able to level up one thing. Unless I level up occultism and so. I mean, I feel like this one's going to be useful. I've already seen a couple places where I needed it. So I could still put 2 points in this maybe. And hopefully occultism will help us out with some of the things that we would have needed linguistics for. And let's go with that for now. Alright, our next reading. Equipping manuscripts. Here you can choose what to read during the next adventure. Each manuscript you read confers skill points at the end of the quest. Okay, so it's not going to give me a skill point at the beginning. So I don't have any points in science. I think that I might need that. So I think I'll leave it. But it looks like all that's left to do now is to do the second quest. So I think that I will leave this episode here because it's already going to be an hour long, unfortunately. So I'll try and upload the rest of this game pretty quickly, probably at least 2 to 3 episodes a week. I don't like having to wait a long time, as I mentioned earlier, between episodes, which is why I waited until all the episodes were out before ever playing this game, so I do want to play through it pretty quickly. If you've played through this game already, please no spoilers. I haven't watched any gameplay footage or anything, so I don't want to know how it ends. I am okay with you pointing out like different things that you did in this episode and like how that affected like this episode, but I would really like to avoid any spoilers for the future of the game. If you like this and you want to see more of it, let me know that as well. Be sure to subscribe and hit the little bell icon to be notified when I post the rest of the episodes. And I hope you guys have an awesome day and keep gaming. Bye!